Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pro Dota commentary done by Luminous. This is NoTidehunter versus Evil Geniuses, Game 3 of the Dreamhack Grand Final. I know Game 2 and Game 3 had a long kind of break in between. I guess that's the best way to put it. If you guys haven't watched Game 1 or Game 2, I suggest you go check both those games out. A little bit long, but really good games, kind of allowing you to see the top notch of the current, at least the European Western Dota meta game. The reason I haven't casted, or I took a long break between casting game number 3, is because I bit my tongue. And when you bit your tongue, it's very difficult, actually painful to actually commentate. So I literally could not really talk for more than 2 minutes without, you know, my mouth going hyper. So well, hyper is not the wrong way to describe it, but you guys know what I'm saying. So instead of doing that, I you know, took my time and made an alchemist guide, and that was, you know, it was quite well received. For those of you guys that are waiting for more guides to come out, I will get to them eventually. I am a caster, so casting is my main priority, and of course making guides what I do on the side. But yes, let's go back on to NoTidehunter versus Evil Geniuses again. Last time, don't want to spoil anything, but if you haven't watched game number 1 and game number 2, you should. Really good games. NoTidehunter will actually be banning out Sven here alongside Batrider, even though they picked, I think, Sven 2 games in a row. Loda's been using it very well. He likes to go armlet on that Sven, which is something I want to try out, because it seems like it's a quite effective thing, as God Strength does take your strength attributes and give you plus damage. So the armlet gives you more strength, give you more damage, and then with God Strength you use so much more upon that. But it seems like we're going to see Undying. That's going to be the pick here for NoTidehunter. Just to remind everybody, this is the final game of the best of 3 series. Whoever wins this is the grand winner of Dreamhack, and whoever loses, well, it is the second place of Dreamhack. The Evil Geniuses will be banning out Magnus as well as Darkseer, so no big AoE combo for them. But what are they going to do against this early game onslaught? That's going to really be led by Undying, because Undying, when he charges in, drop down the Tombstone, drop down a couple of layers of decay, it's very difficult to actually kind of combat them head on. Now most teams like to actually avoid the Undying. Say you have a powerful Undying trialing, well, you know, do your best at, you know, pony or solo. We're gonna pick a very powerful survival solo here. Let's see, like a Windrunner or a Darkseer if that was available, and then try to combat the Undying that way. With that said, if you actually combine Undying with some great tower pushers, as we've seen NoTidehunter do in game number 2, I remember, and that's kind of a dangerous thing. If you avoid Undying, he's gonna knock down a couple of towers. If you don't avoid Undying, well, you know, you're probably going to match up a duel or trialing, in which case you will lose to Undying. So Undying really offers a difficult proposition for most teams actually laying against. And this is why seems like AG is actually taking their time a little bit. So we're going to speed up the picking process, at least to 2x speed. We're going to see a Templar Assassin as well as a Rubik here being picked up. So we're going to see a support Rubik in this case. You know, Rubik could definitely go in the mid lane, but Templar Assassin really demands that mid lane, at least for herself. Meanwhile, we're going to see Bounty Hunter for NoTidehunter's long lane, as well as a Jakiro here as a first or primary support. So pretty kind of standard pick here from both teams, nothing to be too scared about. And we're going to see Evil Geniuses going to be going a little bit more defensive as they pick up the Chen. And the reason I say defensive is that generally if you want to go offensive, you really need to have a trialing against this particular Undying. In that case, Chen is not really a trialing hero. He really wants to sit in jungle, come out with the centaurs, and provide the gank, provide the pushes. But since you can't do it all the time, you're mostly going to be on the defensive. You're going to have your dual lane against mostly a trial lane being faced against you. Broodmother's going to earn a ban here, as Broodmother has been earning bans since the beginning of time, it feels like, at least in the profession. Really just annoying here. Well, it looks like we're going to see a Wisp as well as a Lifestealer being banned out as well. So with this said, NoTidehunter could actually go on the offensive here and pick up a couple kills, but you also got to be careful of the Chen backstab ganks coming out of jungle. Luna's going to be deserving a ban as well. And yeah, again, nothing too out of the ordinary. For the most part, I think both these teams have really figured out each other. I mean, this is at least the third game against each other, and that's not counting any kind of group stage matches they play against each other, or against any scrims they have practiced against each other. If you guys are hearing a lisp from me, or more of a lisp than usual, that's because, again, I bit my tongue and it's still on the recovery path. And that's why I sound a little bit awkward right now. Queen of Pain is going to be the 4th pick here for NoTidehunter. We've been seeing the Queen of Pain versus Templar Assassin matchup for a long time. And this is, I mean, this matchup could kind of go in both directions. Obviously, the Shadow Strike is a very, very good kind of harassment spell against Templar Assassin. The refraction charges won't be blocking too much poison strikes, and of course you could really right click to harass afterwards. The cool thing about this is that you could actually get a Sentry Ward. Or actually, the cool thing about Templar Assassin is that you could use your meld if you have quick enough fingers. You meld the Shadow Strike, which, you know, you dodge a projectile. And then conversely, the Queen of Pain player could put a Sentry Ward on the mid lane and then kind of restore the equilibrium of Queen of Pain beating Templar Assassin in the mid lane. So both heroes have something against each other. And we might not even see Queen of Pain versus Templar Assassin mid. I know I'm kind of throwing this out there, and this might sound weird if you guys hear a police siren go in the background. Queen of Pain against Juggernaut on the mid lane. I've heard it being done before in American high-level American teams scrimming against each other. Jesus. So somebody didn't get wards down and they're getting ganked. The cool thing about Juggernaut versus Queen of Pain mid, it sounds like just insane, is the fact that Queen of Pain could never really get a kill against Juggernaut if you're playing the Juggernaut well. Whenever she Shadow Strikes, you spin, and you will dodge a projectile, and you're not going to get poisoned. Now, obviously, it's still a range versus melee matchup, but Queen of Pain's never going to really kill you, and of course, Queen of Pain's really not going to outpush you either, because like, spin is fairly good in terms of pushing the creep wave and whatnot. Again, I have only heard of this being done. I have not particularly seen it being done myself. I think Root Gaming is the team that does it, but let's see if Evil Geniuses is going to do that. But most likely, they're going to run Fear on the kind of a pushing Juggernaut, as Healing Ward plus Chen creeps plus Rubik is pretty strong, Also, I think we've been seeing a lot of boots first. I've been casting a lot of games lately. We've been seeing a lot of Chinese teams run Rubik boots first and come out jungle ganking, or is that Beatus? I'm not too sure. It's all a blur now after casting so many games. And finally, we're going to see Faceless Void as a carry of choice here, which is actually going to match up very well against Evil Geniuses carries. Juggernaut and Templar Assassin are both very low range, and they're going to get fairly locked down. Of course, you know, Chronosphere doesn't actually hurt the Undying too much, considering that his zombie will continue to spam Queen of Pain, as well as Carol really appreciate the lockdown ability of that Chronosphere. And we're going to see Nature's Prophet here as the final pick. It seems like we're going to see Demon on the long lane, as he is generally playing the long lane with Nature's Prophet. We haven't seen that for a long time, but what Nature's Prophet can do in that particular lane is that you summon a couple of treants, you walk those treants behind the enemy lane, and then pull their 4 creeps, and then pull it towards your tower, and then have a safe level 2, and then continue to get levels that way. So let's see if Demon's going to be running it like that. Let's introduce the players as well as the heroes here. Loda is going to be playing the Faceless Void, Eternal Envy, the captain, the strategist, which by the way, Game 2 had a very great strategical moment here by Eternal Envy. Is going to be playing the Undying. We have Admiral Bulldog going to be handling the Bounty Hunter, the long lane specialist. And most likely their support, or S4 most likely is going to be playing Queen of Pain, and last player will be playing Jakiro. Meanwhile, the last player being, of course, Aki. On the dire side here, we have Fear going to be handling the Juggernaut. Beatus going to be playing the support Rubik. We have Milk, of course, on his world infamous, whatever you call it, Chen. Jo going to be going in the midnight here, saving for the quick bottle already. And Demonev, obviously, on the long lane solo. So it looks like they're all going to be going on bot lane. I don't think this is like a level 1 Roshan or anything like that. I really don't think you do it. You can't really do level 1 Rosh with the Shen, as you are lacking in terms of a lot of firepower. But no big deal. They're most likely walking up a hill, making sure to lay down their wards and whatnot. Making sure that, well, as I say that, no, they're just scoping things out. Are they going to do the same thing? Are they going to do the same thing in game number 2? No, they're not going to do anything crazy, right? They even put sentry wards down. Maybe they're thinking that Bounty Hunter will be doing a little bit of scouting. Bounty Hunter is doing a little bit of scouting, but not in that particular direction. So this is... If you didn't watch game number 2, we just see a big bait involving the Roshan. I don't really want to spoil that, but seems like EG want to replicate that one. But I think Radiant might actually know. NoTidehunter is going to be walking right in. This Observer War is going to see basically everything. They will see S4 coming in, and they're getting ready. No, they're just running back out here. Demon is the last one to go. Demon should be fine. Roshan fairly healthy in terms of HP. And I guess no harm, no foul. Both teams really just laying down wards and scoping this out. This Sentry Ward, though, not exactly the most useful Sentry Ward ever, but, you know, not the biggest deal. It looks like we're going to see a defensive dueling here up top here by EG, as expected, with Chen in the defensive jungle. And we're going to see offensive trialing here being led by here Undying, Really, of course, the K at level 1 here. Queen of Pain going on the mid lane here against the Templar Assassin. No Sentry Ward being laid down on any side. And seems like Templar Assassin is saving for the quick bottle, obviously, and Queen of Pain is not. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Shadow Strike harass here against the Templar Assassin. And once that shield is down, the right-click harass is going to commence from S4. Meanwhile, here we do have Undying coming into the river here, scaring people. The Undying Illusion actually does not have armor. They are just walking zombie flesh and bones. That's it. So that's pretty cool, I guess, sort of. Admiral Bulldog on the bot lane here against a Demon. I'll give this lane to Admiral Bulldog, considering that he already had Pullman Shield and had a lot of regen being pulled to him. I mean, Demon really can't do too much. And you might be saying, well, Demon is always a +1 source for his allies as well. That's true, but if you're trying to teleport, and you do have to teleport on a given moment's solace, if your team is getting jump upon, you gotta just TP in Bounty Hunter's face, in which case he can actually kind of slow down your TP or stop your TP with the Shuriken toss. So Demon's gotta be somewhat wary of that. Of course, his physical harass is actually not gonna do too much. Did I say he's gonna be defensive Chen here? No, it's gonna be offensive Chen. Looks like they're gonna actually just push down this tower, at least try to do so. Admiral Bulldog, despite him being a very survivable hero, really can't handle this lane. You can see that Chen is already coming around. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the best pushing creep. That creep is not too bad into pushing. Does give your heroes as well as your creep wave +3 armor, but you really need to summon a tornado, as he is doing that right now, and it's going to harass Admiral Bulldog just a little bit. But Admiral Bulldog already level 3. He is going to be going for Janata. Really, it's going to allow him to get a lot of last hits, a lot of solo bounty hunter. If he gets to farm, you really actually want to just actually get Janata, because it's insane harass, it's insane farm, and really good for the last hit. On the top lane here, Jakiro still level 1, as well as Undying at level 1. And really nothing to show for. I mean, these guys are looking for a little bit of harass, but Beat is very far away, deep into the jungle. I will not see Undying coming in, though. A very deep ward, and perhaps this is why that Chen has not gone into his jungle. That is really ward off. In turn, I've been looking for a little bit of CS, not gonna find it here. Decay and going right on Beat is fighting and tanking a couple of creeps, not he caring at all. Out of restore though, he's really wanting to go for these creep kills. Not too sure whether he stole that one. I don't think he did. There is a toss back here. Beat is level 2 already with that pull going on. He turned out to be tanking a little bit creep damage, not the biggest deal. But that is going to give Void a lot of CS. Sloda is up to 10. We're going to pull up the menu for you guys to see here. Well, Juggernaut's coming around here for the kill. Eterna Envy, a little bit out of position. Sorry for missing the ham sandwich. Receive a prize for watching the first blood. I've never seen somebody known that actually received something, but hey, he received something, so I'm sure he is very happy. Yeah, I guess somebody Eternal Envy was just a little bit out of position. He was being caught moving back from this path, and very good notice here by Fear cutting him off with the first blood. It wouldn't be a Luminous commentary if I don't miss first blood, so that's my excuse for that. Here, Admiral Bulldog, gotta be careful, as this tornado has a big range. Don't really want to step into that tornado range. Very good push here being concocted by the evil geniuses, as they do have the siege tower. They do have the ring turned on as well. Of course, this thing does give +3 armor. It looks like he is going right on Milk. Milk taking a lot of damage. Tower not really helping out here. And the big test of faith that will drive Bounty Hunter out of the lane, at least momentarily. Sentry Ward being dropped down here. And, well, Admiral Bulldog, he's going to try, but he's going for the... He's in fact going for the Chankri. Tower going to focus on Milk. And there's going to be a great kill. Aki just came out of nowhere, and they do actually save himself as well. Admiral Bulldog is running right back, and he will have Janata coming off cooldown. One more hit. There you go. Admiral Bulldog still tanking up. Demon is gonna go down as well. Great dive here by Admiral Bulldog, and that Champ crew is just looking for the kill. Not gonna find it. Just a lot of blocking action. He's buying stuff. He's got his bottle already. So despite losing a tier 1 tower, oh, Admiral Bulldog, 7 HP. One more hit. These Treants are coming in. The Furbog has already got picked off. Is Demon's gonna teleport for the kill? No, we do have Aki giving the salve. Very well played here on the bot lane. Good rotation. Demon TP's right. He does get a dust off, but does he have mana? Aki? No, he does not. Recent change from 75. Oh, TP back out here. Great play from both sides. As we're saying here, recent change of the buff, or excuse me, the nerf of the mana cost from 75 to 90 has prevented him to actually fire off that ice path. Would have actually allowed him to get the kill there. And of course, Demon teleporting in with dust and teleporting back out with the teleport scroll, try to get a kill on Admiral Bulldog. So great salve on Aki's part, great play from both sides. Unfortunately, really worked out in the favor of the Radiant side, as that was 180 gold down the drain for the Dust, as well as a single teleport gold down the drain. So they are just really losing in terms of a lot of gold, but at the very least they have knocked down a tier 1 tower, so that's 1,000 gold for the team. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, S4's got 26 kills, 21 on the Templar Assassin, so fairly even in terms of matchup. Unfortunately, Jo being forced all the way back to the base. I'm not too sure why. She's very healthy in terms of HP, got fairly healthy in terms of mana as well, but looks like she's going to just back off and perhaps trying to set up a gank. In either case, that's going to be a indirect victory here for S4, as he is CSing freely and most likely going to be going for the next rune as well. Perhaps the haste in the bottle is the reason why JL is going to go back. Really you don't want to mess with Queen of Pain, especially when he has a haste rune. Normally you would be safe considering that you're a Temper's Assassin and you have mail, but unfortunately Queen of Pain does actually hit through the mail. Demon is actually high ground to low ground jungling. Demon's got a TP out immediately. Oh, Scream of Pain, Sonic Wave, gonna pick him off. Queen of Pain doing a very good job on Demon. Having a very, very rough time, man. Not really a good start for him. We saw Demon just playing absolutely brilliantly in the first couple games. Unfortunately, in this game, just having a very, very slow start. But Demon always recovers. Let's see how he's going to do so. We on the top of here. Loda's going to jump right back out. But is anybody's going to follow him up? No, he will not. The centaur was not positioned correctly by Milk. So a rare mistake. Generally, he's very good in terms of doing so. Using the heroes to go right on the enemy hero. And then leaving the centaur to block off the retreat path. In either case, to not get that off, but have slowed down Loda's farm just by a tiny bit. How's Juggernaut doing in terms of farm? 18 to 25 on Loda. So it seems like the Radiant is just farming better. They're killing a lot better. And if it weren't for this tower on the bot lane, man, the Dire team would really be in trouble. And you can see that with the tower kill, even they were down by 250 gold. So yeah, NoTide, they're looking very, very strong on this final game of the Dreamhack final. And again, they got to be careful. One more game. Well, both teams got to be careful, as whoever loses is the second place. And coming to the tournament so far, it will be a very bitter end if you don't actually get the first place. In either case, Demon on the bot lane. Really, again, like I said, you don't have the advantage in this particular lane. Even though he's ranged hero, the Portmanship really shuts down any kind of physical harass. And we do see a level 8 Bounty Hunter to a level 3 Nature's Prophet. If you guys remember, Chen and Nature's Prophet spent a lot of time pushing together. Nature's Prophet got killed a lot of times, and Admiral Bulldog got kind of solo farm. And you can see how much Admiral Bulldog's trying to bully Demon. Demon's got to stay very far back. He's between these two towers, and Admiral Bulldog's phasing right in between phase boot as well as track. They do so much damage, and of course, you know, he moves so very quickly as well. One of the reasons why I personally love phase boot on Bounty Hunter. When you track enemy hero, not only are you buffing up your Janata right click damage, so S4 is blinking into the trees. Very fortunately that they don't actually see him. Of course, when you are phasing and tracking, you are moving like the wind, and if the enemy hero doesn't even have boots like that, you actually just get them for free. So Demon receiving 0 help after the Milk kind of push on the bot lane really is I mean, he's getting less farm right now than he would if he was in jungle. That's how really shut down he was. So I'm not sure whether Prophet could really recover. Prophet is one of those heroes you say, ah man, once he gets his Graph of Nature going, he can actually do it. But is he ever going to hit this level 6? As we see Demon, as soon as he gets tracked, he's basically dead, as S4 is still patiently waiting for him. Back in the mid lane here, Templar Assassin, again, trying to get some farm. Oh, they see Demon. Demon's basically dead, trying to TP out Shuriken toss, and not even going to get the Shuriken toss off. As that was again, free kill, and keeping any kill that NoTidehunter is getting right now, they are track bonus kills. NoTide dominating this early game. I love this build here going so far. Mostly, earlier I talked about the great thing about leveling up Janata early on, but in terms of raw damage output, Shuriken toss is where you really want to be at, as that is 325 burst damage. Is he going for Vlad's first? I believe that is indeed the case. Now, normally, if you go Vlad's first in a pub game, people will laugh at you, be like, oh man, really a bad item. And to be honestly, it is really a bad item. Most pubs get it for the lifesteal, they get it for the plus damage aura, and that's probably the two worst reasons you want to get it for. You generally do want to get it for the plus armor as well as in mono region, and overall a decent kind of passive team fight item. And that's really the reason why he's getting for. They do have some decent early game push with things like Liquid Fire. If he does get the Vlads, of course, Tombstone plus You know, decay is a very good deterrence and really allow your heroes and creeps to knock down the enemy tower. That is the reason why you want to get Vlad's. If he's actually in fact going for Vlad's, he might be going for something else. Although generally you don't go for, you know, Morbid Mask as well as Basil if you're not going for Vlad's, at least on a bounty hunter. I really like the rotation here by NoTide. They really recognize the power of Undying if he has enough levels, and really he is so far behind right now, so they're gonna give him the mid lane, and that's really what allow Queen of Pain to roam in deep in the enemy jungle and trying to pick off somebody. You know, despite the ultimate being not ready to go, they're still going for it. Meanwhile, a big tier 1 push coming on the top lane, and let's see if EG could, you know, really get this one for free. They gotta get this one for free. They cannot lose too many towers in doing so, but the Radiant team is getting ready to defend, and looks like Faceless 4 might be jumping right back in with the Chronosphere. Here we go. It's really a free one if he wants to go for it. Still not gonna go for it right now. He's gonna jump in. Chronosphere not gonna get just everybody. Jo is gonna get focused, but telekinesis upward here. Jo in big trouble as well. Somebody has sold the Chronosphere. Will send 2 people. That will be Beatus for you. Tombstone being dropped down right now. Turn out in the middle of everything. Jo is low. Beatus low. Blinking. Oh man, that's a triple kill for the Queen of Pain. And now Fear trying to fight his way out of here. Will he be able to do so here? S4 still on the chase, and there's a long ice path. That's gonna hit, and there's gonna be a couple more right clicks, and that's gonna be an ultra kill for Queen of Pain. S4 playing brilliantly. Somebody received yet another prize for witnessing a multi-kill, and the question is, was the tower denied? And the answer is, it will be denied just at the moment by Eternal Envy, I imagine. That's a huge win for NoTide. Dire team is down by, they were down by what, 5 kills before, and now they're down by 9. It's not looking too good, and Gochar now swinging heavily in the favor of the Radiant. Hopefully the NoTidehunter team will not forget about denying this tower, as that is a lot of gold in stake, and you don't want to give the Dire team any kind of avenue of comeback. You see Demon's really, he is so damn poor. He's finally going to hit level 6 right now. 12 minutes in, he's going to get boosted speed. Probably, he might actually just go straight for Midas and try to play catch up. Generally, you want to Midas as soon as possible, but hey, if you're late, you're late. And of course, Midas, one of the most important thing about Midas is that it gives you the EXP bonuses. But we'll see how it actually plays this. And earlier I was talking about, you know, Nature's Prophet, what we're very familiar with is, you know, he sit in jungle, AFK farm, and then come out late game with a lot of items. And normally you can do that, but one of the big weaknesses about Prophet is that it really takes him a while to get going. You know, you see that he's level 6. He doesn't actually have a great flash farming spell. I mean, you could count Wrath of Nature, but that thing has a long cooldown, especially at level 1. And of course, his tree and jungle is quite slow. So he farms very slowly. His gold and EXP suffers in the early game. Suffering like that dog will be suffering outside if he does not be quiet, because I will be cooking that dog later on. But yeah, Demon is really going to have a tough time, and to be honest, it's literally a -1. We talked about Nature's Prophet being a +1 in ganks. For his team right now, he's pretty much a -1, and most he could offer himself, his team, a little bit of an anti-push with Wrath of Nature, as well as a little bit of pushing power with Nature's Call. But for the most part, they're not going to do too much. In EG coming right in the jungle, trying to sneak one in, and let's see if they could do it against Roshan with double damage as Mail Strike damage. They could really do it. Meanwhile, in the top lane though, it seems like Beatus is going to pay the ultimate price for that one. Here we go. He got slaughtered, but I guess that's still worth it, as Fear is probably going to get the Aegis, or maybe they're going to give it to Jo. In either case, the gold that they get is very important, and the EXP they get is important as well. So Eternal Envy got a fast one pulled on them, very unfortunate. But meanwhile though, if Eternal Envy had hit level 6, still level 1 Tombstone, very interesting to actually not level that one up. Maybe realizing that he is not going to get the really the EXP to go all the way, and to be honest, don't have the tanky item to really make himself a frontline tank, so making himself a little bit more of a caster, which is like the, you know, the poorest choice, but something that we don't see too often. Tier 1 tower's gonna get destroyed as well. They got that one for free, so yeah, EG making a slight comeback here, getting free 2,000 gold here. S4 trying to pick off someone. No, it's gonna blink away. Don't really want to mess with that. Another reason why Eternal Envy perhaps might not be taking a Tombstone is the fact that Tombstone is, of course, a very good kind of a damage dealing machine if you could actually stack it up. But if they destroy the tomb very easily, you know, you're not going to do too much. And to be honest, Juggernaut, Chen Creeps, Treants, as well as Templar Assassin, these are great heroes to kind of focus out on the Tombstone and basically kill it very quickly. So, and then when the Tombstone is killed, you're putting 4 skill points into something that, a skill that doesn't really do anything. So in that case, maybe that's why he is actually not going for the Tombstone max. Looks like Eternal Envy is going to be doing another big stack pull. One of the big difference I've noticed by casting these these Western games compared to Chinese games, that there's a very, very small emphasis on pulling in the Chinese games. And you know, ironically, it's the Europeans that's pulling and farming these ancient stacks a lot more. It's a very important tool for them in terms of catching up EXP or accelerating a single player's EXP. We do have a Mana Midas finish as well as a Power Treads, but a very, very slow farm here for Dota. I mean, 15 minutes Power Treads Midas is not exactly something you could write home about, but they are going to try to get this tier 1. They don't have too much tower to speak of. That's why they're not really doing that well, as these creeps in the front line here slowing the push down, or at least attempting to do so. I mean, on the bottom line here, you can see Demon trying to apply a little bit more pressure, drawing TP back or something like that. There's a glyph being popped out, but with Dota with Chronosphere up, you really don't want to mess with them. Tower perhaps gonna get denied. The Stomp's gonna miss here, and Demon, oof, not Demon, Fair trying to go for the deny, not gonna get it off. We do have a web here on Admiral Bulldog. He should be fine as well. Tier 1 Tower Destroyer, are they gonna go for the tier 2? That's the question. Everybody's so low. That Tornado really slowly chipping away in terms of everybody's health, but NoTidehunter, they could continue to push if they want to do so, but they're very, very far away from their nearest spy tower, so perhaps not the best you know, not the best position to seek a fight, especially when you don't have a good team fight spell like Tombstone Max. In any case, let's quickly check out how we're doing in terms of item progression here. We do have face boot. We talk about how I personally love the face boot. It looks like we're going to see Vlad's finish as well as a BKB attempt. Aki as well as Eternal Envy, just mostly going for the big support items. Arcane Boots already finished on Eternal Envy. That's going to be very good for him. Lotus, somewhat slow farm, don't really have the gold to show for it. And NoTidehunter just have the Ultimore and Tread. So despite them leading by 10 kills, they're not really showing too much in terms of the kind of gold as well as item. But I think they're in a very comfortable position. Queen of Pain is a very kind of snowball hero. You can actually pick off a lot more kills as they're lower level than you. Let's quickly check in terms of level. We do have a level 11 Queen of Pain, and we still see things like a 7 Rubik, 7 Chen, 7 Nature's Prophet. These are literally free kills for Queen of Pain. If they're ever alone, Queen of Pain will be able to just pick you off. And that's why, you know, the Radiant's fairly happy. They have a big lead. They have the later carry hero in the Faceless Voice. So, you know, they're going to just farm up, and they're going to put the pressure on the Dire to say, if you want to win this game, you got to push quick, and you don't have the advantage because we kill you. We're 10 kills ahead of you. So, EG, despite, you know, the game seems very tame, they are working with the short window, and if they don't get a lot of going, they're going to be in big, big trouble. And that might start with the Blink Dagger pickup here by the Templar Assassin. Jail, though, generally when I see him pick up such a late Blink Dagger, he's not really as effective of a player. When he's dominating with Templar Assassin and picks up that quick blink, he just goes to town and just pick off hero left and right. But if he picks up a late Blink Dagger like this, I'm not sure how effective he will be. We'll have to kind of wait and see here. We do have Demon, again, continue to farm up. He has actually went for the Midas to catch up in terms of EXP. He really wants to hit that level 11 as soon as possible. He is reserving that Wrath of Nature, though, saving for the big AoE damage in teamfight, as well as a little bit of a counter push in a pinch, in a sense. Demon kind of suspecting a gank coming his way, although there's nobody near him, so he should be fine. Again, these guys were just fearing. They are just fearing S4, and that's actually just really great for the Radiant, because hey, if you're not farming, if you're grouping up, if you're holding hands, you're not getting any EXP. And again, we have the better late game, we being the NoTidehunter team here. A big smoke here being done on NoTide to try to kind of flank this team, and Jo is surprised, Fair is surprised. You gotta focus on them. The biggest backstab is gonna be coming right in, and Eternal Envy drops the Tombstone. Again, not the highest level Tombstone here. Beat is trying to steal something. Tombstone's gonna get dropped, but look at the burst damage. Gonna get one kill. They can focus on Jo. He's losing HP very rapidly as well. Two on two action here. Dota very, very low. He's gonna get focused. The zombies starting to stack up. He's gonna go down, and Jo comes right back alive with the Aegis Immortal. That Aegis is paying huge dividends right now. Picks up on dying as well. S4 trying to fight his way out. Unfortunately, he blinks forward, goes for the chant here, and Blink Dagger JL falling right back. Admiral Bulldog comes in, gets one kill, starting track up here, and S4 gonna get picked off as well. Admiral Bulldog slow down. Do they have any detection? That is the question right now. He is tracked up here. Does he have track against him? No, that was a track bonus here. Uh-oh, Dust. There's a Dust. They do see him. They need one more trap. There's a trap, and Demon should get in position. Oh, tree destroyed here. cutting off the path. And you can see the micro from Milk coming in here as well. The stomp, the complete chain stun here. There's a net as well. Milk just microing his pants off. And Jail blinks right back in. After that team fight, he just picked up Blink Dagger with 0 gold. Now up to 1500. That Aegis, of course, helped them doing so. They picked off Loda, they picked off S4, they picked off everybody. That was a 6th streak kill giveaway by NoTide. And EG, I talked about them. They have a small window opportunity where they have to get something big going. This is it. The gold chart now reflecting. They're now going to put a little bit more pressure on tier 2. You got to keep in mind that Chronosphere is going to be down for a bit as well. So right now, EG riding that momentum, trying to at least get a tier 2. And this tier 2 means so much for future Roshan. If they get this tier 2 right now, they will just make sure they are getting ready for the next Roshan. And here we go. There is a glyph being popped out here, and we do see a teleportation coming in from Amber Bulldog as well, and the track will start to happen. There's a track on Jail, but really, how much can you do without the Chronosphere? Tower is gonna get destroyed for free. No, Loda jumps right back in. Chronosphere just cooled down, and he wants Demon. Can you kill Demon? That's the question here. There's a telekinesis. What was stolen? Tombstone was stolen. Very good job by Beat is stealing the really high action spell here, but now Beat is getting focused down. Ammo Bulldog going right on him. Jail. A lot of damage here. We do have Milk popping up the Chen here, and Loda down to about half HP. They are on the run, everybody, and their mom buying back, and that's gonna be end of the team fight. With the multiple buybacks and a Chronosphere being used, EG doing fairly okay. They turn to Evie, still leading the push here. Demon bought back as well here. Blink Dagger coming here. See me blinking from S4, trying to focus on Demon. Demon about half HP. And no, Milk completely out of position, not really running with his team. And this armorless dying will actually bring him down. A free kill being picked off. And actually Queen of Pain has picked off Demon as well. I'm sure at least one of those kills were track kills. So very, very well done here by NoTide. And perhaps the Dire team has overstayed the welcome. A very, very action-packed game here on game 3 of the grand final of the Dreamhack. Whew. EG gotta be extremely careful. They do have their own Vlad's offering. Again, this is a very, very pushing heavy Juggernaut. Max wards, Vlad's drums. I mean, just going for all the utilities. And you know, to be honest, I don't really think Juggernaut is the best late game carry. I actually like builds like these where you actually opt for a little bit more mid game utility. You really need something like that to kind of at least keep your team relevant, especially when you had a tough early game. But back to a 10 kill lead here for NoTide. Feeling quite comfortable with the game, where the game is currently still is. Again, the Queen of Pain is fairly highly leveled. Blink right in here for Jail, trying to get the deny. Unfortunately, unable to do so here. Does dodge the ice path, and they are going to probably pick off Aki. Got to run with this team Tombstone. Going to cancel any kind of Blink Dagger. Aki's going to try to TP out, but Omni Slash drops the mini stun, drops the twin head, and that will be the kill. Demon teleports back in the top lane and starts catching up in terms of XP. Level 10, so let's see if he caught up with the rest of them. But as I say that though, Eternal Envy a little bit in trouble, as this trap will be the very, very slow trap. This guy ain't moving at all. Blink Dagger, Mel Strike, and Jail. That Blink Dagger doing a lot of work. Eternal Envy buys right back. I'm not too sure why, because they're not really defending any tower. They're not really team fighting, and he can't get right back. Team fight Chronosphere. That's on everybody. As for Sonic Wave, that's on everybody as well. And Hand of God comes in right now, but it looks like Amber Bulldog not gonna do enough. Loda can't jump. He's trying to jump cooldown, but he's dead. S4 gotta blink right back now as Jail murders him. Oh no! The turnaround here from EG, as that's 3 more kills being picked up, and those 3 kills were on the highest farm heroes of the Dire team. And it looks like we did have yet another buyback here on Loda, while these guys are not showing buying back, but they're giving away a lot of their goal advantage as they're buying back. You gotta keep in mind the Dire team really fought that 4v5 EG. Demon didn't even fire off a Wrath of Nature because it was on cooldown, so it was a true 4v5, and EG won that handily. So Radiant gotta be careful about their lead as they're kind of throwing that one away. Quickly check in terms of the goal, 3,000 gold, but EG fans out there, be happy because your team is really making a strong comeback, as they do have the big team fight item being finished first. We saw that Milk's mech just do so much work in the couple of team fights, and he's working on Necrobooks. Mech, of course, a big fan of Necrobook, a big proponent of Necrobook. Really, I think one of the only pros that actually buys Necro on any hero outside of the Prophet. It's really just a lovely item, and good to see him using that as well. Looks like there is a phone ringing, but I'm gonna pretend that's not ringing, or at least all right, gonna quickly answer that. Hello? Hey. 個手機佢出嘅，打個手機。哦 ，yeah, yeah. Okay, bye bye. If anybody was wondering what the hell that was me speaking a dialected Cantonese. That's why it does not sound legit. Alright, in any case, we're winning this game. 6 kill advantage here for the Radiant, 3,000 gold lead. Another check on the items. Yeah, back to what I was saying here. Mech being the big team 5 item they have finished, and the Radiant team have not been able to do so. They were up so much gold, but unfortunately none of it was on Aki, and that's why he's really slowing down on the mech. And without having the mech, EG is using that mech to a great advantage. Good to see a support item really kind of taking control of the game. And here we go, they want to, again, they have a small window opportunity. They can't wait too long. There's a farm Queen of Pain, there's a farm Void. They have to at least get some structural damage and make the next push a little bit easier. I don't think they can actually break tier 3 right now, but they're gonna try as, yeah, Glyph is baited out here, and there's an overwhelming army of Treants Centaur. Look at the Centaur army. Where the hell is the Radiant team? They have Chronosphere ready, but unfortunately Loda is so damn low. Mask of Madness is up, and we're gonna see it early. Rax, I can't believe it. There's a dust being popped out, there's a Glyph. As soon as it came back on cooldown, Tombstone's gonna get focused by the chain creeps as well as the Treants. I talked to you about it, as that's such a very, very powerful way to deal. But if Admiral Bulldog pops a BKB, trying to tank some early game, but the Chronosphere, that's on everybody again. Jail not caught in, but S4 comes right in with a whole bunch of AoE. Was there any mech being used? No mech, no Hand of God, no mech was used, but Hand of God was not. Maelstrom trying to dodge it, but a Centaur, Ninja Centaur, was that theirs? No, there was not. It just was detection, but they had detection ready, and J.O. is gonna get focused down as well. That looked pretty good, but it was not enough. Was like, what the hell? What made him survive so long? Whatever the case was, it was not enough. But a big, big deep push, really scaring the hell out of the Radiant team and any NoTidehunter fans, as this Rax is down to half health. You might be saying, well, can they just come right back in and just go for these free kills? Free Roshan, or free tier 3 Rax. I mean, it's fairly easy considering that they have brought it down, and it took a lot of NoTide's effort to slow down this push. And really, the answer is no, because if you think about it, Chen's pushing power really comes to him from his creeps, and because he has lost his entire army, he really needs to spend at least a minute and a half to really defend this tower. And when you have a minute and a half, 2 minutes bypassing, well, the tower is going to slowly regen to about, at least 75% health. And that's going to give that Glyph a little bit of cooldown time to get ready. So, and that's assuming nobody gets picked off on his team, and which is a big assumption. Of course, the reason why Loda's been hitting so many Chronosphere is that the Dire team is really, they are just a push team at heart. I mean, they have things like Templar Assassin and Nature's Prophet for the ganks, but mostly when you're combining Nature's Call, Chen Creeps, of course, Healing Ward from Juggernaut, as well as multiple healing stuff like Hand of God, Meg, and things of that nature, you're really a pushing team. And when you're pushing up a hill like that, you are going to clump like crazy. And when you come being crazy, Loda's gonna hit those Chronosphere, and that's something you gotta live for. And we talked about, as we see Bounty Hunter picking off Demons solo kill, Animal Bulldog staying very, very relevant in this particular game. I'll talk about that in a bit. But I just talked about, S4 dropping a Sonic Wave, his Scream Pain, right under the Chronosphere. Let's not forget Aki, his AoE damage output, Macro Power level 2, Dual Breath, and Ice Path. They do a number if people are not moving under that Chrono. So that Chrono is really breaking people's back. Let's not forget about the repeated decay spam as well as Tombstone. So there's really a lot of stuff. But yeah, let's go back to the Bounty Hunter. We've been seeing Bounty a lot in these pro games ever since the end of TI2, when he had a very, very high win percentage. A lot of teams started to, discover this hero, picking up and really utilizing him to good effect. But we haven't seen the Bounty Hunter as this effective. And I think the reason that he is this effective is because he had a lot of farm on the bot lane. Remember, Bounty Hunter was like level 7 when Demon was level 3, despite losing a tier 1 tower. And if you haven't found Bounty Hunter, he can actually tank up in the front line here with things like a Backing Bar and Vlad's. And he's remaining very effective into this mid to late game. Most long lane Bounty Hunter can't really do anything at all. He just sits in the team fight and tracks, which is really not going to be enough. And finally, we're going to see a push. Finally, a big Chen army being gathered again. You can see, again, back to about 75% health. And these creeps are actually drawing out a lot of focus, at least from the nukes and whatnot. Tower is still taking some pot shot down here and there. Again, they're very wary of Loda's Chronosphere. Of the meantime, they're trying to throw down nukes, throw down long range spells, to kind of drive Loda's HP low enough. Again, Chen's got to be very careful. He cannot get focused down. He just provides way too much utility and healing for his team, especially if someone in his team is trapped in Chrono. You can actually send them back with Test of Faith, so you got to be very, very careful of your Milk. Milk's been getting caught by these Chronospheres, as he is always in that 4 or 5 man Chrono, so... meanwhile, we do have the Roshan being back in about 3 minutes or so, 4 minutes or so. And of course, this Roshan will drop Aegis and Chi, so whoever really controls that Aegis will be in the big lead. We do see Demon, again, teleporting around the map, trying to catch up in terms of farm and EXP. Let's see how Demon's been doing. Demon's level 13 in terms of his team, not too bad. I mean, you got to keep in mind that he was level 3 when most of his team were like 5 or 6, so he's... really catching him. Looks like we're going to see EG big smoke. Unfortunately, they're going to run right into Admiral Bulldog. Do they have detection? That's a question. They're going to go straight for Aki. Aki drops the Eye Staff. Still alive, and there is a Tombstone being dropped as well. The 3 supports here on the Dire. Got to be careful. Chronosphere being dropped. Loda, he's right-clicking on Jo, but Jo very, very tanky. Melt BKB blocking a lot of stun, and Loda wasted the Chrono just simply on nothing. No time to... Oh, here we go. It looks like Omnisatch going right in, but Fear in a lot of trouble as he's trying to spin his way up. Right-click, trying to bring him down. TP not going to be able to do it. Meanwhile, Aki trying to fight his way out against a couple guys, and these guys are on full retreat, but no, Loda will find jumping, applying slow, and Jo trying to fight his way out, but he got sent back. Chen providing that utility as I speak of, and that's pretty much it. Undying trade for Loda, or excuse me, for Fear. You really don't want to have that trade. No, that's not going to be trade here, as we see Beatus being picked off here. Not exactly the best trade here for the Dire team, but NoTide definitely would take that, and they're going to go for a little bit more track, plus multiple blinks, or blink type effects here, with things like, you know, Time Walk, or not Time, is that called Time Walk? Yeah, Time Walk, as well as, Phase Boots, as well as Blink on Queen of Pain. Allow them to pick up a lot of free lagging kills, all of them being track kills. Radiant leading by a mile, 10,000 gold lead, doubling the Radiant, or doubling the Dire's kills, and they still retain their rack, so staying, you know, very, very happy with the position. They even have the glyph available. Quick item check, we did see a Scythe of Ice on S4, Mask of Madness, Manta, or Manta's going to be attempted, as Loda already have the Maelstrom being finished. Ghost Scepter being picked up, as Eternal Envy could actually drive a lot of focus off of him in the front line. Looks like, are we going to see a Heaven's Helper or a Basher? Either case, both are not exactly great, you know, items for Ammo Bulldog. I personally like the Basher a little bit more, give you a little bit better frontline tanking power, although, you know, I could see the use of having a Basher. I don't think he has enough attack speed to take advantage of it, so it makes me think that's going to be a Sage into Heaven's Helper. And meanwhile, we don't have to see too much item progression here, as Fear, did he add a Vanguard to his? I don't think he had a Vanguard before, now he does, so quite curious. We did see BKB being used on Jo in the previous team fight. It says a 10-second duration, but I do believe that's lying, as this one says 9, yep. Meanwhile, of course, Demon going for Necrobook as well, so really packing up the Necrobook. Again, the Dire team is a pushing team at heart, so packing up things like Necrobook is a good way to go about it, but unfortunately, I think it's just too little too late. You see the net worth really being led by on the Radiant side. The Dire has the next 4, but as a pushing team, you assume that you're going to be leading in terms of gold, because you're knocking down towers. Meanwhile, the EXP is pretty much as expected. You know, the Radiant team is going to be leading by a lot, especially when pushing team, they clump up. They really are slow in terms of EXP output, but here we go. Yeah, the Radiant team just in a very, very good position. They don't need to push right now. They could just wait for EG to make their moves, and to be honest, wait for EG to make mistakes. EG would inevitably make some mistakes, as they are human. Although, EG's been playing very, very well in Game 1 and Game 2, so we'll see in this particular game as well. I just think that their draft has not really been favoring them. They're going for these kind of early game kind of timing push, but they just not finding timing because they're eating Chronosphere to the face. Radiant are just getting, you know, very, very good at finding pickoff. It is going to be a Basher here for Ammo Bulldog, so maybe thinking very, very far ahead, going for the Abyssal Blade, a way to actually lock down the both the Juggernaut as well as Templar Assassins despite their magical immunity. So if he's thinking that far ahead, well, you know, kudos to him. And to be honest, Heaven's Helper is decent, but you really don't need Heaven's Helper to win team fights. Team fights going to be mostly determined by things like Faceless Void and Macro Power and Sonic Wave. Meanwhile, though, if you have a very good utility to prevent them from escaping, well, you know, that's pretty decent. And that's what Abyssal Blade will give you. So I'm going to see a Shiva's attempt here fight by Queen of Pain after the Scythe of Ice. Again, I wonder what the Dire team is waiting for. What I suspect is, you know, they recognize that they have to push, but unfortunately they're not strong enough to push, so EG not really in the best of position here, as Fair very, very far away from his own Manta style. And here we go, the level 3 Roshan. The third incarnation of Roshan is going to get prestige. Again, this one drops a cheese, so you got to be careful as everybody's teleport right in. Necro books being popped out of Wazoo. Lotus got to be very careful because he is tanking a lot of mana drain. He's basically out of Chronosphere mana. And if the Dire team recognized that they could take that team fight, Loda, oh no, he's going to get initiated upon Loda, taking a lot of damage, gets mech'd up. But look at the Fear Omni Slash. That's a GG slash right in the face. Only chasing in particular here. In turn, if you're tanking the front line here, we do have buyback here from the voice. Sonic Wave hits, just not enough though. The Tombstone's gonna get destroyed, and EG wins a big one here. Double kill on Fear, and they're gonna go right back in the Roshan pit. Big mistake here by Loda, tanking a lot of mana burn. Here we go, Mansal gonna get dropped. They do see guys on full retreat. You did it once. The question is, can you do it again? The Necrobooks are still on cooldown. The mana burn was doing so much work. It looks like we have a big fight on the ramps. Asisu, our whole position on the ramp, really defending the ramp from coming down, or they're going to try walk up the hill. Whatever the case might be, they're earning themselves a lot of trap, slowing these guys down, really to allow the Dire team to initiate. Trees are going to go right in, but Aki just blocking the path, and that's going to give the team enough time to get the Aegis. Who's going to get the Aegis? Blink right in. No. I thought S4 was gonna, excuse me, I thought J was gonna blink in and go for the steal. Unfortunately, he did not go for it. Maybe fortunately, because he definitely would have died right there. And Bounty Hunter picks up the Aegis Immortal. So, man, that was a tough loss. Who has the cheese? Cheese is gonna be on Faceless Void as well. And now NoTidehunter effectively with 7 lives coming right in for your tier 2, and that's the tier 2 you gotta give up. No ultimates online here for the Dire team, at least not the important ones like Omni Slash as well as Hand of God. So you gotta back off, and that's really the reason why they could not go into the Roshan pit. Chronosphere was up, nobody's ult was up on the Dire, so 12 kill lead here for the Radiant, an Aegis kill lead for the Radiant as well. So, man, this is looking very, very bad for Evil Geniuses, and they gotta pull something crazy out of the hat. Whether JO does have a lot of gold, 3k gold to be exact, but I mean, what can a Templar Assassin get to really turn the game around? My guess is nothing, because you know, normal items, things like, you know, Desolator, it's not going to do too much. Man Style's going to be cute, but really not lacking the damage output. If you really needs an item, you know, Scythe of Ice, I think is going to be the way to go. As silly as that might sound on the Templar Assassin, they just need lockdown, especially when Void is really sitting at 1400 HP without any magical immunity. Queen of Pain is sitting at 1500 HP without magical immunity. The Dire team just really lacks a lockdown. They have Rubik with telekinesis. That's it. That's really it. I mean, unless Demon farms a Hex as well, which he has no gold. So somebody's going to get some reliables done, or else they're done. Here we go. Big Smoke Gang coming right in, trying to find somebody. But unfortunately, NoTidehunter's very, very close to their own base. They're going to be sitting very pretty. And basically, again, wait for the Dire to make a mistake. Radiant doesn't need to worry too much about it. But usually, again, been playing fairly well despite, you know, I mean, not despite, given what's given to them. When life gives you lemonade, when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. And that's exactly what the EG is doing right now. They have early game heroes, but they're still playing this late game stage very, very well. Again, EG looking for that smoke gang, but little do they know, the Radiant smoked up in the mid lane as well, baiting with Loda. Loda, of course, extremely survivable, and really supports hiding right under him. I do imagine that the Radiant team, or the Dire team, does know that it's a kind of a big bait. We do see how Juggernaut finishing his Manta, so that's something. But here we go, a big mass exodus into the enemy base, and Eternal Envy really leading the charge. Gotta be careful where he's treading, as you don't really want to run into an enemy smoke party as well by yourself at the very least. I do imagine the Radiant team will be pushing mostly very soon, considering that they have the Aegis, they have the cheese, and they have, again, very, very strong heroes in a late game situation. Mad Style also finished on Faces Void, gonna add them a lot of damage. We do see Demon trying to keep on pushing, slow down it, you know, slow it down, making sure you're drawing a couple of Telesphore here and there, and eventually, I mean, you're gonna give your team enough time to farm up for those multiple Scythe of Ice. Demon, 2700, most likely gonna be picked up by Ultimate Orb as his next item choice. Chen, let me see how he is doing. He's got the mech, he's got the Necro 3 finish, so fairly farm Chen. Very surprised to see that. And we still are holding on to a lot of gold here for Jail. He can't be just saving for buyback, right? Maybe he's gonna go for crits, kind of build himself as a glass cannon, and just trying to melt people and things like that. That's not a bad way to go about it. Again, like in most Western pro games, the jungle is really placed an emphasis. Either you're stacking it, or you're doing it with your team, or pulling it. Or pulling and stacking is the exact same thing, but you guys know what I mean. But meanwhile, haven't seen too much of that in the Chinese. I wonder really why. It seems like the Chinese are a lot more aggressive. And I know if you guys have been watching a lot of pro games lately, that might sound a little bit more ironic. Yeah, the Chinese are a lot more aggressive, more than the Europeans. The Europeans are adopting a little bit more passive, farming-oriented play, things like pulling ancient stack, farming jungles. The Chinese are like all about buybacks now, all about like tower dives and pushes. So a very, very kind of ironic to see a 180 kind of a role reversal in a sense. Abyssal Blade is finished here as we are critting for 600 damage. Holy Jesus, that's a lot of crits. That's a lot of damage. Man, like Demon just gets shred apart. Ah, he's pretty tanky now, 1700 HP, and he's caught up. He's caught up. So you guys haters out there, talk about 15 minus, 14 minute minus, 15 minute minus. Sometimes when an item is good, it's just good because there's no other item in the game that gives you EXP gain, like raw EXP gain. Hanamitis does. So I guess if you want to say, oh yeah, a dragon gives you EXP gain because it helps you kill people, then we're going to a slippery slope argument if we are saying things like that. But Midas is a very unique item in that exchange, in that instance. And I wonder what the hell the Radiant team's waiting for. They got the Aegis, they got the cheese. They gotta be careful about the Aegis because it's gonna time out very, very soon. Who the hell they have it on? They have it on the Bounty Hunter, that's right. Yeah, it's gonna time out in just about a minute. I think this is time to go here for No Tide. Or maybe they're saying, well, it's just on a Bounty Hunter. It doesn't matter if you lose the Aegis for free. Why take the risk? Hey, why not? You are playing for a lot of money as Envy. Really happy with their team where they are right now. Yeah, they are gonna just say, yeah, we know the timer is running out. We have the better late game. Come to us. Come to Papa. And mostly the Dire team saying, oh, well, we can't really do too much until the Aegis runs out. So they're gonna wait as well. Both teams waiting here and there. Demon up to another 2,700 gold. So we're gonna see a Hanamitis in about 800. So yeah, there's even not Hanamitis. The Scythe of Vice in about 800. So when you're starting to pile up on the Scythe of Vice, it can get somewhat dangerous. Again, Faceless Void is not going for things like Blocking Bar. He's going for a Butterfly. Or a Dario Blade. I imagine it will be Butterfly though. And looks like we're going to see a big smoke gang coming in the middle here. Fear leading the charge considering that he does have Omni Slash. So that's kind of his get out of jail free card. And they will see S4 in the jungle. The question is, can they lock down S4? We talked about the lack of lockdown on the Radiant team. And really the answer is no. S4 doing a little bit of pull, and he does not see vision. S4 is going to get picked up in the air, and they got to drop everything on him. He blinks right back out. The trap will find him, and the blink forward here. There's a Scythe of Vice here against speed. This S4 trying to survive, does have the blink, and he is going to TP out. Yes, he does, against 5 EG members. Oh, EG just got trolled hard. Man, that's a tough. That was a free kill. They smoked for a long time to find that one. They found him. But again, the lack of lockdown, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, compared to a Scythe of Ice, Ice Path, which is very reliable, a Chronosphere, that's at least 3 lockdown spell, 2 of which are big AoE. But Dire has a telekinesis, and that telekinesis has no cast range, so it's a world of difference between crowd control spells. EG Fear says, have no fear, I'm here, and let's go on the bot lane and try to get that last Rax. Unfortunately, Glyph is available. The Rax is at full HP, and Loda, like the last impossible boss, is waiting up the hill for them. And to be honest, he is really the impossible boss. And Bulldog has already lost his Aegis Immortal to another 1,700 gold, getting ready to take this fight. And to be honest, at this point here, Loda could just stay on the front line here and soak up quite a bit of damage, especially when you have the cheese already. Sonic Wave's gonna get dropped just mostly on creeps here. Ammo Bulldog taking a little bit of damage. Fear comes right back in. Omni Slash only on heroes, doing a significant amount of damage. Creepway has respawned. No, the Creepway hasn't done too much. Mech right back up here, and the chase now goes the other way. Where's the Chrono? Chrono is gonna drop here onto Demon, getting good focus here, but there's a nice. Oh, Demon's still gonna go down. Manasal not gonna really hurt the Radiant too much here, but the Chrono being used offensive or defensively here by Beatus. Beatus trying to TP out, not gonna make it. Jail's gonna get picked off here, and that's 3-0 despite dropping a Chrono on half the team by Beatus. So well played here by the Dire team, but just not enough, and No Time that wins it yet another team fight. Gold chart 1,750, about 2,250 here by, or 25,000, 22,500, whatever the number is. That's a fucking huge number. 25,000. 25,000. Excuse my French. As No Tide, very, very comfortable. Still doubling the enemy kills. He's gonna go right back in and start taking the last towers. A very, very tight play here. A tight play game for the most part. Seems like No Tide is very poised to win the Dreamhack. Unless, again, Evil Geniuses pulls a quick one. I mean, they are in a position to actually still win the game. Because if they, let's say, catch 2 people alone by themselves. And let's say it's Loda and he doesn't have buyback, which he does. You stick the racks and suddenly this game might not be as lopsided as it currently is. But again, Loda has cheese, he has buybacks, so and it has a manta, it has time walk. I really don't think he's gonna be dying. Although of course, when you have a Nature's Prophet, you always have some kind of late game implication. We do have the Scythe of Ice finish, so quickly doing a Scythe check. One on the Radiant, of course, on Creating Pain, and one on Dire. No one else is really even close to getting that, so what has been a JO gone for? JO has gone for crits, so fairly standard, although not sure if standard is what you could do in this particular moment. JO's effectiveness is going to just drop more and more as this game progresses, because having a very mobile carry, but not the one that deals really good sustained damage, is not really what you want. I mean, JO does a lot of burst damage, that's great, but they're not sustained. If teamfight goes long enough, you really can't expect your Templar Assassin to carry the game all the way. So Fear's got to put his entire team on his shoulder, but unfortunately he's playing Juggernaut. He's not playing PL, he's not playing PA, he's not playing Void. I take it back about PA. PA is not really that even good of a late game carry, but I digress. NoTidehunter, they're still taking their time, slow rolling this one. They're waiting for the 4th Aegis. Yes, they are, but the Dire team says, alright, we're gonna come right back, and the backdoor attempt here by Evil Geniuses. Where's the glyph? Wake up! No, there's no glyph available. They've drawn the glyph out, and they're gonna get the Raxus for free. Yes, for free. Oh, not free lunch just yet, as here comes S4, perhaps gonna pick up a couple guys. S4 drops his ult. He's gonna blink right back in. Hand of God heals everybody back up, but the big crits of Amrabola gets a kill. He gets us 2-second stun on Fear as well, and S4 trying to do some work, but the Omni Slash again locking down single hero. Loda comes right back in. Loda not doing damage. Just kidding. He is gonna kill one. Team's gonna get dropped here. Demon TP's right back in. Demon losing HP very rapidly. It's gonna get sent back home. But the team fight again, not really in the favor of Evil Geniuses. They are trading their lives for that Rax. I'm not sure ultimately if it's worth it, because now the Radiant team, again, almost doubling the kill, and here we go. They're going right in for that tier 3 racks, tier 3 and racks for themselves. But when you have Nature's Prophet and you're up 1 rack, suddenly this game gets a lot easier. So, like I said earlier, you don't want to count Evil Geniuses just out yet. A smoke backdoor, an entire team backdoor. We have not seen anything like that for a long time. As for trying to work on this tower by himself, but really can't do too much. As Beatus now, oh no, Scythe of Ice here up on Beatus taking some big damage. Teleport back in here, Demon. No, he's gonna think about it and then rethink that and go back to the farm train. So yeah, the Radiant can't be too comfortable. They're gonna just probably get the Aegis and go right back in. I think against any lesser team, NoTidehunter could be playing the exact same way and basically slowly ease the game out to a even victory. Not against Evil Geniuses, not against Milk and Fear. These guys have been around the block for too long. They will find every chance to win a game. And that was it. That was a great move here by the entire Dire team. And the Aegis, that's going to get picked up here by the Void. And Aegis, or excuse me, Void's not as tanky as you imagine him to be. He really needs lifesteal. Of course, lifesteal is provided by Vlad's, although maybe it's better off if he got his own lifesteal. He did have a Mask of Madness earlier, has sold it now, as he is really too decked out. And NoTidehunter says they're ready to really squash that bug. That's really been a thorn on their side. So here we go. Loda just working on the tower right now. Glyph is not available on the Dire side. As for shooting up on the high ground, but seemingly an endless wave of Treants, Necrobooks, Chen creeps, and they're holding the fort right now. Gotta be careful of this micro. Somebody's gonna pick up free 600, free 100 gold in exchange of 600 damage, which Ammo Bulldog will more than happy to take that trade, considering that he does have the Reaver available. Sieging back and forth here, and Loda with the Aegis of Mortal doesn't really care, and the Dire team don't really want to go on him. Manasau pops up, and there's a Chronosphere being dropped, but who is he actually focusing? He wants Fear. Fear, does he have buyback? That's a question. Fear does have buyback. He uses it immediately. That is the last team fight if they don't actually drop it, but the Massacre being handled by NoTide. Yeah, they can't actually stop it. Oh, the 2-second Sundown Fear. Can you burst him down? That's a question. Loda still have the Aegis Immortal. He's just going right in S4. Oh, there's a big Omni Slash, but just not enough damage output, not enough concentrated damage output. And you go with the Aegis still up on Loda. He does not care. Gonna be right-clicking Raxus. To be honest, they could go for the straight throne right now. Perhaps they could go for the bot Rax as well, as bot does have the big creep pushing in. Was that a TP back? That is a TP back. As for defend this one, they are just getting one Rax, and they're gonna be more than happy to TP back. They gotta defend this one though. Focus the siege unit, Loda. There you go. There you go. As those one are hitting them. Did I see Queen of Pain going for Monkey King bar? Yes, I did, man. When Queen of Pain is starting to do more damage than your actual carry, Juggernaut, that's a little bit rough. And EG really show why they can't really do too much aside from avoiding team fights, taking non-direct team fights. You know, they went into the base and took a Rax, but eventually got team wipe. And you can see that Radiant so easily walking the base, still retains the Aegis. I mean, what's stopping NoTide from doing the exact same thing on the bot lane or the top lane? So I imagine they're going to keep doing that, and they will keep doing that until EG taps out. So EG not going to come on the mid lane. Mostly like a Hail Mary, a suicidal push. They got to somehow find themselves another lane of Rax, but with 2 towers in between, and as well as, you know, the ultimates of everybody available except S4 and the Aegis. Not sure if they can do it. Not sure if they can do it. Pretty decent ward being dropped here from this patch of the Force. We'll give them a lot of vision right next to the tower. Here we go. We're going to focus on Loda. Loda seemingly did kill one of the Necrobooks and lost a lot of HP instantly, but hey, I'm not going to worry too much. S4 is going to draw a teleport scroll back or so, and that's again giving them more time to farm up, giving them more time to grab those late game advantage. Both teams playing extremely smart. And S4's got to be careful. Despite the Dire team doesn't have too much lockdown, you just got to respect their lockdown, especially when there's a Scythe of Ice on the global hero available. So that's all the lockdown you really ever need. But for now, S4 still playing fairly confidently, very far up. Heaven's Halberg on this naked zombie. Jesus. This guy looks really ugly. And I guess it's a zombie, right? That makes complete sense. And it seems like the Radiant team is going to go in from the mid and go to the top. You can just tank that one. They're waiting for the Kuya to come as well, as the Dire is stealing with a huge push down the mid lane here. There's a glyph being used, but that glyph is not really slowing down or stopping any of this. Jo is getting ready to jump right back in, but he really can't. Emerald Bulldog. Oh, they're going to focus down on Emerald Bulldog, but just not enough damage output here. Oh, the stun against Jo. Jo just melts. Jo still alive. One more hit's going to do the job here. No Chronosphere being dropped just yet. There's an Omni Stab being dropped on Aggie. Aggie pops the Gold Scepter. He should be fine. Fear trying to spin his way out, but Chronosphere will lock him as well as the entire team down. Does get one, and the Chronosphere, 8-second chain stun, 10-second chain stun. But really, I mean, these guys are just watching the party. Jo buys back, but the Braxus does not have a buyback button, and unfortunately, they will be going down. And I do believe NoTidehunter will be the final victor of, yep, GG well played gets called out. Congratulations, and congratulations indeed, as NoTidehunter, the non-sponsored team, at least in this stage in time, is your Dreamhack champion. Your Dreamhack champion. Eternal Envy the captain, leading 4 Swedes, winning the entire tournament, coming out of nowhere, taking down giants as like Navi, taking on giants like EG. And they are doing it with style. Game 2 baits, game 3 well play. I mean, great item choices, great coordination, great team fights, and looking to be a true contender in I mean, any Western tournaments. You got to go past these guys. Here we go, glorious victory. Kilroy the cuddly kitty cat. Kilroy the cuddly kitty cat. That's a sick tongue twister. Alright, congratulations here to NoTide for taking the Dreamhack. Hope you guys enjoyed the entire 3-game series. Of course, I'll be bringing you guys more commentaries as well as more guide. And yep, hope you guys enjoyed this game. Until next time, this is Luminous. I'm signing off. G, guys.